Well, howdy hey everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft Snapshot video, where today we're going to be looking at the brand new snapshot just released yesterday, the 24W21B snapshot. Now in this snapshot, we're going to be seeing some new cool things like the data-driven jukeboxes, a new game rule, and a bunch of fixes as always. I'm going to be looking at 21B, not 21A, as I've just seen that there's been an update which talks a little bit about some of the zombie spawns and how that used to be a crash, especially in high local difficulty. But anyway, bar that, we're just going to get right into it. Let's check out some of the cool things straight away. Well, howdy hey everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft Snapshot series video, where today we're going to be looking at 24W21B. In this snapshot, we can see a cool bunch of new things like the data-driven jukeboxes and a brand new game rule and a couple new fixes as well. There's some other things as well, and by the way, just letting you all know, I'm going to be looking at 21B because there's been a crash in the last snapshot where zombies would spawn and that would crash a bunch and it was a whole deal. But anyway, let's look at some of the new features that they've got going. There seems to be two big reasons why 24W21B has come out, and that is because the first crash was one that happened when upgrading your snapshot world to 24W21A, the world would crash, and the second one is that snapshot 24W21B fixed the frequent crash which happened when zombies spawned in areas of high local difficulty, which, you never want to be playing a snapshot and have your world crash to that. This just came out not so long ago, yesterday for me, but for some people I think it will be a bit earlier. No reason why, I'm not really sure why it says 21st of May, because it's supposed to come out on Wednesdays. But let's just go in and let's check out some of these things already. Now to start off this snapshot video, let's look at the brand new changes to the trial chambers. This is one thing that I really like, is now they've added this small little ringtone chime that happens, just to let you know that, hey, you haven't got this one yet. It gives that little chime, it opens up as always, shows the color of the key, you plop your key in, you get your rewards as always. Just a great way to make sure that you know what you're looking for, and you actively find it all the time, and you're not walking past these trial ruins and not having to actively stare at them. Now we can just listen out for the audio cue, which is going to save so much time, especially when you're fighting these monsters and trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Trial chambers are also less likely to generate in the deep dark, which is a little bit weird, but I guess it makes sense when you think about you could probably spawn a warden midway through your chamber run. Trial chambers are also now less likely to actually generate in the biome of the deep dark, which I think makes sense because imagine that you're doing your chamber run and you then get hit by a warden because you've spawned it in by making too much noise. It's just something you don't want to think about midway through one of your trial chamber runs, isn't it? Now I know you're looking at your screen and no, sadly this is not deja vu. Yes, the piston sounds have been reverted to their original state, with just the original volume being lowered ever so slightly. Honestly, I'm not a big fan. I kind of liked the new piston sound that we got. It wasn't that bad as many people were saying, and I think there was some really good intention from Minecraft here of trying to make redstone machines less noisy. But I think there's definitely an easier way, or well, a better way to solve this problem. Maybe a new volume piece inside of your game that just controls redstone items or automated items like rail carts and pistons. Or what if we had like a separate thing that we could put onto blocks to make them make no noise? I feel like that would be a really cool item. Maybe we could have some form of beeswax that we could just rub onto any item and it wouldn't make any noise when moving components. I think this is a good idea and it's something that Minecraft should definitely explore. Now no, you don't have deja vu, this is actually true. Minecraft have reverted the piston sound back to its original state, as you can hear here. Now supposedly the volume has just been dampened ever so slightly, so it's not as loud as it previously was, so at least they are still attacking part of the issue they were trying to solve, but I don't think this is the way. Yes, the new sound that they had in the previous snapshot was a bit weird, but I also think there's different ways we could do this to solve the issue. Maybe we could have a different tab in the sound section that was just for redstone or moving blocks that could consist of not only pistons but rail carts and all other noise generating things. Or maybe we could get some form of beeswax that we could rub onto blocks that have moving components to make them make no noise. I think there's better ways to make an item change ever so slightly than just turning down the volume, and I think the issue still isn't solved in my opinion. Another thing they have now changed is there is a brand new Gamerule command. Yes, a brand new Gamerule command, which now allows you to change and toggle if you can go into different dimensions through portals whilst using entities that allow passengers. I know that's a mouthful, so let me explain. If I go over here to Gamerule and then entities, you can see here entities with passengers can use portals. So entities with passengers is horses, donkeys, mules, pigs, and any others I've forgotten. And then all I do is true, and this will now allow me to take this guy through a dimension into this portal without me hopping off it or without me just walking through the portal on the other side. Now this is also good because Striders, an animal I did actually just forget about, which is also an entity that can have passengers, has to be taken into the overworld for an an advancement that has to push it across 50 blocks of lava in the overworld. So now you don't have to lead it through, you can just walk through, do the advancement, come back, Bob's your uncle, everything's good. Now when you're playing Minecraft and you hit an animal and it runs off you a few seconds, that is what we call the panic state. That is where the Minecraft animal is scared of getting killed, so it runs off. Well, now this is changed ever so slightly. So the animal panic is now based off these two predefined damage source types. There are two of them. The first one being panic environmental causes used for wolves, adult polar bears and pandas, and then normal panic causes used by every other animal and baby pandas. Now these are all of the damage tags for the panic environmental causes. You can see we've got things like cactus, in fire, lava, or on fire. This is obviously just a way of Minecraft saying that if an animal takes damage due to something that's not a projectile or a player's influence or a mob's influence, then it's going to react much differently to if it's not like that, and if it just takes damage whilst in the wild. And these are the damage tags for the panic causes. So as you can see here, we've got arrows, we've got explosions, we've got fireworks. This is just going to make it change a lot more, and we're going to see how animals now go into the state of animal panic depending on what it is. So I feel like these will be more like the animal runs around for a couple seconds, and then the environmental causes will probably be the ones that are like, oh, the animal may run around for less time because it realizes it's not in actual danger, it just needs to get away from it. I think this is a good change. I feel like it just makes the mobs a bit more realistic, the pathfinding isn't as annoying. I mean, it's also good for lag problems, like if you're loading into a chunk and a pig walks into a cactus somehow, then it's going to take up more memory for that animal to run the commands, run the code, and say, alright, I've taken damage, I need to run. So this is going to be a lot better for the community. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you like videos like this, please check out my playlist where you can see all of the other Snapshot update videos. And if you could, like the video, please subscribe. I'll be posting more of these videos all the time, and we're only going to get better from here on out. So anyway, and also, as always, if you want any information, it will be in the link in the description. And as always, please, if you want any extra information from a real human, check out Exuma Void's videos on the snapshots. They do an incredible job at explaining it all. They're genuinely mind-blowing at how much detail they go into. But anyway, I will see you all later. Goodbye, y'all.